So one quarrel dey ground between APC, INEC and the European Union (EU). Wetin happen? Now the European Union has a body or a team that they call Election Observers Mission (EOM). Now, countries wey dey inside the European Union, once that is it just countries? No, not just countries in the European Union. Once countries dey do elections, European Union will send their election observers mission to go and observe the election. It is just a normal practice. Not only them, other international bodies go come observe the elections. Now, they came for Nigerian elections and they have released their reports. They say from the election wey they come, say everything about Nigerians dey alright. Say Nigerians dey committed to vote for a good leadership. Say but the system is weak. They say they have systemic weakness. APC say make dem shut up, make dem comot their mouth on the matter. Say let the country breathe. INEC say that they talk rubbish. Daily Alake say that they talk rubbish. Let me read the news for you. 2023 polls. Tinubu rejects EU report. Says election is credible. The EU EOM, in its final report on the poll last Tuesday, said though the election showed the commitment of Nigerians to democracy, it also exposed enduring systemic weaknesses and therefore signaled a need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. It added that shortcomings in law and electoral administration hinder the conduct of well-run and inclusive elections and damage trust in INEC. The journalist report. Mr. Alake said Mr. Tinubu and his team have rejected any notion or idea from the EU that the election was fraudulent. We strongly reject in its entirety any notion and idea from any organization, group, and individual remotely suggesting that the 2023 election was fraudulent, the statement read. He said they were convinced that the EU called the final report on our recent election is a product of a poorly done desk job that relied heavily on a few instances of skirmishes in less than 1,000 polling units out of over 176,000 where Nigerians voted on election day. Mr. Alake reiterated that the 2023 general election, most especially the presidential election, won by Mr. Tinubu was credible, peaceful, free, fair, and the best organized general election in Nigeria since 1999. He added, our earlier position that the technology-aided 2023 general election were the most transparent and best organized elections since the return of civil rule in Nigeria has been validated by all non-partisan foreign and local observers such as the African Union, ECOWAS, Commonwealth Observer Mission, and the Nigerian Bar Association. Earlier alerts, Mr. Alake recalled that in May, the Tinubu campaign organization had in a statement alerted the nation to a plan by a continental multilateral institution to discredit the polls, and the main target was the presidential election won by Mr. Tinubu. While we did not mention the name of the organization in the said statement, we made it abundantly clear to Nigerians how this foreign institution has been unrelenting in its assault on the credibility of the electoral process, the sovereignty of our country, and our ability as a people to organize ourselves. We find it preposterous and unconscionable that this day and age, any foreign organization of whatever hue can continue to insist on its own yardstick and assessment as the only way to determine the credibility and transparency of our elections, he said. INEC has also condemned the EU report, describing it as unfair on its overall performance during the 25th February and 11 March general elections conducted in Nigeria. INEC kicks. It is not fair to judge the entire performance of the commission on the basis of a glitch in the result upload for the presidential election. INEC spokesperson Festus Okoye said in a television interview, he argued that the glitch in downloading the presidential election result was not a solid reason to question the electoral body's performance during polls. Basically, what they are trying to tell us is that Nigerians will say they go the election ground, things no add up, Nigerians they lie. EU will send observers come, EU dey lie. Each other international bodies wey come, dem dey lie. The only people wey dey talk true for this election na INEC and APC. The two of them are the only truthful people. The rest of us, we are all liars. You are telling us that the polling units wey get one thing is just 1,000 polling, is just about 1,000 polling units. What is the margin that APC won the election with? Let's those 1,000 polling units wey dey claim. So let's find out the number of registered voters in those 1,000 units, and let's find out that if it's not more than what the margin you are claiming you won with. And then we are seeing some other issues. For example, some places like Obiakpa, what INEC showed us is different from what they call results. So by the time we solve those maths, we'll probably know who won the election. All Nigerians is asking INEC for is to give us a credible election. What if we concern INEC with who win election? Just give us a credible election. People who accuse APC and INEC go answer. Oh, that don't talk to APC team. All you need to do is give us a credible election that is free and fair, and you are unbiased. Just stand as the umpire and decide that we stand for who Nigerians vote for. That's all. But look at what you did. The reason why this one is so obvious now, because to them, this is the best election ever conducted. Do you know why? Because compared to the former ones, what did they do for the former ones worse than what did they do for this one? But this one now, media and internet all day, so now I mean we fit see am. The one that they do for the former ones, my brother, if they open eye to see, maybe it go actually, this one will actually be the best. But even this one that you call the best is not acceptable. This is not the way we want our elections to be. This is not the Nigerian we are praying for. Now wow.